Hey there, welcome back. I am utterly and completely unprepared for class. I am. We meet every day here at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern for a decent comic book show talk. And all last year, I had a great tool on how to inspire daily comic book shop style conversations. And I had a book. It was called The 365 Days, The Golden Age of DC Comics. And guess what? We're going to do it a little bit more. It's right. Due to... I started the show in January of last year, okay? And I didn't know what I was doing. In so much far as saying, like, I got a camera, I got a mic, I've got an idea. But basically, everything started falling into place the later and the more recently I've been doing it. When it comes to content, about delivery, when it comes to the format of the show, the length of the show, and you, the audience that's tuned in with your comments, your live chat, and your tweets. So the show's at a different place now. So in January 1st of last year, when we did the first page of this book, this Golden Age of DC Comics, 365 Days, this is a hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. And this has been surfing my coffee table now for nearly 2 decades, being a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate today, right now, right here with you. And I have all the old videos in a playlist. And I was looking at January, and I'm like, wait a second. We could feasibly, without shame as well, revisit January just by the numbers. All of those videos tend to be like about an average of 5 minutes long. And some go 4 minutes, some go 7 minutes. But they're not all that power-packed with conversation bites. And seeing that all of the views are in the mid-single digits, that except for the first one, which got a little traction, with a retweet I did a couple of weeks ago. But it's just, hey, everyone, see how far we've come as a show. I dig that kind of stuff. I mean, the background's definitely spruced up a little bit. But basically, we've stayed true. We found our feet, we found our voice, and we found what we're doing. We meet up 3 o'clock U.S. Eastern, and we talk about comic books for a couple of minutes a day. This book has been an excellent source of comic book conversation, and we are doing the bagging, boarding, and boxing show. I definitely need more short boxes. I'm impressed how quickly that filled up. I really haven't started the job yet. I'm saving that for the camera, for us to talk about stuff. But I definitely need a few more days to, fine-tune things, put things together, wait for him to come up with a show name. I mean, we'll get there too. I mean, this show really doesn't have a name. I mean, it's unless you have a great idea for it, drop it in the link. Being like, coffee table time with Sully, some comic book conversations at the coffee table with Sully, with us, more like it. And let me know what you've brought to the coffee table today. Pull up a chair. All are welcome. Bring a cuppa, whatever it is. I got some freshly brewed Dell's coffee. It's wonderful. There's a radio button link in the banner. Get your own. He'll mail it to you. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm a satisfied customer. And we're going to continue to spread the message of the importance of returning to your local comic book shop and spending your time and money there. And embracing the culture that the real deal is at the comic book shop, in my humble opinion, where you get to see people of all ages, humans of all sizes, and of all the entire spectrum of humanity has always been at the comic book shop. I'm pretty darn sure about that. Growing up in Boston and having several comic book shops myself, literally several. So what I wanted to do, because in yesterday's episode we kind of spent a little bit of time with the last couple of pages of the book. We got to read the acknowledgments by the authors, finding out that one of the credits is the photographer himself. So what we need to do is let's finish the job in a way. Let's inspect the beginning of the book, and we're going to use this book for its intended purpose. We're going to open up to today's date, which is January the 1st. Happy New Year! Woo! You made it. Another trip around the sun. Isn't that great? And we're doing this again together this year. But we're not going to do the whole book again. That's going to get boring. But I am willing to re-examine January, especially since we've learned so much by completing the book. I think we have room to revisit January. What do you think? Let me know in the comments in the live chat if you think this is a good idea. If you're really disappointed with, if you're expecting all the bells and whistles of the new show today, it's not going to look that different. But I'll have to come up with a different opening spiel. You know, I got kind of used to the whole opening and closing of the show. It's kind of nice. I'm really enjoying this time we're spending together. And but let's get to it. Let's crack this book open and let's look in the inside of the cover. See, yesterday, we looked at the inside cover. We talked about the Batman here. We talked about the Death Trap with Robin. We talked about the ads. We talked about this Wonder Woman ad, this Wonder Woman panel here. Oh, we really didn't talk too much about the index. Yeah, so if every character or magazine, you can look in the index and find which page it's on. That's the index's job. I mean, younger people, this is like, this is how a printed book works. I mean, I'm not trying to presume anything or ignorance or anything. Books usually contain a segment at the end with finer print, quite boring, but it can be important under the right lens. So let's return the favor and let's open this well-loved 2004 Abrams press publication, written and curated by Chip Kidd, who took the photographs, Geoff Spear and Les Daniels, who wrote made the selections and wrote the daily blurb. You can find the link to its Amazon page in the description and get your own copy. And you can play along at home this year. You can. And yeah, I was thinking you could do February too, because your numbers on February were pretty low. We're going to see how long this lasts. We're definitely going to revisit January. Why not? I think it's fun. Part of the whole reason for this show is for escapism and for fun. And, give me twos in the chat if you missed last year's show of this date. Did you miss last year's January 1st show? We're already twice as long as that first episode of this show. And let's have fun. We're going to open up this book and we're going to check this out. Like the quintessential Golden Age Lois and Clark moment. What's that you say? Clark already reported the story? How did you manage to telephone that story in first? How did you ever know my train was involved with an encounter with Superman? I am, come on, I'm in an even worse spot. And that's you can tell the voice, maybe, I think one's a voice and one's an internal thought dialogue, maybe. That's interesting. We have the inside pages here. The Golden Age of DC Comics. Harry M. Abrams Incorporated publisher. And photographed by Geoff Spear. Here we go. Written and selected by Les Daniels. And designed. Here we go. Shit. Written and selected by Les Daniels. Designed and selected by Chip Kidd. Photographed by Geoff Spear. So after a whole year of me doing my opening spiel, well, you know, those are the creators, and we have some Batman as well. The Batman surveys his ground cautiously, with an ellipses. It's obviously some kind of decadent room. Is it an apartment? Or is it a room in someone's mansion? They have a bust of something Greco-Roman. There's some art. Everything's in shadow. We can say from our light source that there is a shadow. We can tell that this room is dark. We can see the outline of the cape on the floor behind the moonlight of the Batman at the window. I like that. I like this art. I like it a lot. Gold is where you find it. And these are the opening remarks of the three creators. This is Les Daniels from Providence, Rhode Island in 2004. And it gets on a little long. So, I mean, I want to actually look at one in particular. It was called, it's Chip Kidd. And Chip Kidd is and this is like where we first get some Mac Rayboy art here with Captain Marvel Jr. He's throwing some bombs at a German battleship. Now this is interesting. This caught my eye because sometimes we're accused, especially in this modern age of the early 21st century, that things get memory hold quickly. That means we forget about them. That means it's happened, and a week or two later, it's whatever is the newest thing's happening. But we like something that happened 3 years ago. Oh, gee, I forgot that ever happened. Remember that? Okay, so let's start that off. And with younger viewers, you know, this happened. Yeah. Art in the Dark, an interview with Chip Kidd, New York City of 2004. I'm just going to read a little bit of the opening. Because Question. So where were you in the great 2003 New York City blackout? Huh? Yeah, in New York City. Let's see. 2003. Back to my camera here. Good. I'm glad that we've solved that. I'm glad we've solved this technical issue, Pikachu. 2003 NYC blackout. And one of the largest blackouts in New York City history occurred on a hot Thursday afternoon, August 14th, 2003. It is believed to have originated in Ohio after a bushfire caused a transmission line to go out of service around 2 p.m. Within an hour, a second transmission line had failed. This is from, you guessed it, the wiki. They call it the Northeast blackout of 2003. I barely remember that. I mean, yeah, I remember more the news of New York than the quality of my day on that day. Let's see. The Northeast blackout of 2003 was a widespread power outage throughout parts of the northeastern and midwestern United States and most parts of the Canadian province of Ontario on Thursday, August 14th. 2003, beginning just after 4:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Most places restored power by midnight within 7 hours, some as early as 6 p.m. on August 14th within 2 hours, while the New York City subway resumed limited services around 8 p.m. Full power was restored to New York City and Toronto on August 16th, almost 2 days later. At the time, it was the world's second most widespread blackout in history after the 1999 Southern Brazil blackout. Yeah, and so I remember seeing people walking across the bridges, the borough bridges, to get home, or to and from, to Manhattan, from Manhattan, but the city, it was out of a spooky sci-fi movie. Here's New York City, quiet, maybe like Batman, Cataclysm, or No Man's Land in a way. It's like the subway's not working, the traffic lights aren't working, work's not working, it shows you how dependent on electricity we are, and kind of spooky. But yeah, this is Chip Kidd talking. So where were you when the great 2003 New York City blackout hit? I was locked in a vault of comics in Midtown, torn between two vintage images of Captain Marvel beating the tar out of Savannah the Mad Scientist, if you must know. And so it was I was reluctant to work on this book in the first place when the lights and air conditioning and elevators and phones and everything else died on the hottest day of a brutal summer in the middle of our task. The inherent message from God, or at least Con Edison, was, don't. Not that my reluctance grew from a lack of interest in the material, far from it. The reason I hesitated was I had just finished a particularly grueling comics-based book project and needed a rest. I was not to get it. Yes, and some words from Chip Kidd, the photographer. He photographed the images that we see in this book. And the beginning of this book here is showing them thumbing through Les Daniels and Chip Kidd. They're going through old comic books. I don't know if those are reprints, perhaps? I have no idea. They look a little bit big, or were Golden Age comics always that big? And there's Geoff Spear. Isn't that cool? Okay, so Geoff Spear. Yes, he's the photographer. Cool. And I think that's really nice because it's next to the Batman and Robin camera cover here. Lights, camera, action. And before we get to the first page of the year, we have some Harry G. Peter art written by William Marston's Moulton. Leaping furiously forward, Wonder Woman drags Steve from slow and suffocating death. It appears that Diana is tied up with her own magic lasso, but she's able to still hop around and move around a little bit. Interesting. And here, what I keep on saying, especially to younger viewers, the ancient internet of these magazines. These are like you send away for these catalogs. Here is one of 1940's largest catalogs of stuff. Just novelty stuff. Gags, jokes. I need to put the glasses back on. This. Darn it. Kits, wigs, pipes, locks, boats, stamps, puzzles, hobbies, turtles, jewelry, reptiles, watches, disguises, sex books, ooh, waka waka, novelties, fireworks, alligators, telescopes, exercises, air pistols, slide rules, barometers, press cards, chameleons, novel rings, microscopes, coin checks, electric eye, magic tricks, live animals, archery sets, money savers, transmitters, field glasses, curious seeds, indoor games, skeleton keys, makeup goods, rubber stamps, a 39-cent typewriter. Woof. Jigsaw puzzles, banks and vaults, sporting goods, novelty clocks, hunting knives, simple jewelry, electric trains, cigarette cases, electroplaters, games of chance, fortune tellers, fencing supplies, Indian novelties, books for lovers. Hula hula skirts, occult novelties, exploding jokers, over 300 6-cent novels, sweater emblems, fishing supplies, live ant villages, radios and supplies, projectors and films, cowboy novelties, pendants, awards, vending machines, camper supplies, musical novelties, religious articles, office time savers, 15-cent telegraph sets, muscle developers, imported novelties, secret money belts, puzzle money boxes, books on hypnotism, latest style radios, new auto novelties, firearms and rifles, new candid cameras, read the back cards, electric tie presser, a marriage license for 10 cents. It's the Den and Club novelties, inkless fountain pen, home workshop tools, money-making outfits, electrical appliances, portable radios, $1 up, electric pants presser, billfolds and coin purses, electric baseball games, latest model airplanes, books on ventriloquism, weird and mystic articles, printing press for $2.98, spiritualistic novelties, novel bicycle ornaments, Haas Laugh Razor cushion. Maybe that's a what we call a whoopee cushion, where you fill up this bladder, this latex bladder with air. You blow into it, and someone sits on it, and it makes farting noises. One of my favorites, to be honest with you. Social Security key checks, chemistry and scientific sets, handmade Oriental novels, European manufactured goods. Just 3 of the amazing new novelties. Rush 25 cents for 604-page catalog of amazing novelties. New 1940 edition. Welcome to the ancient eBay. This is ancient Amazon. Okay. Seriously, you would send away for a catalog with a self-addressed stamped envelope. They would mail this back to you, and there will begin your mail order heaven. And then what else is in store for us? No, we're gonna turn the page, and as we said yesterday, when the year ended, we have art by Vin Sullivan, and this is from the cover of More Fun Comics number 17. Issue number 17, January of 1937. Here we go. All original, all new. It's 1937. We have color funnies for the kids at 10 cents. And it's a magazine. It's 60 pages long. It's New Year's Day. One of the first employees of the company, later known as DC Comics, Vin Sullivan, was a cartoonist who went on to become an editor. But he still kept drawing for a while. Humorous covers like this one predominated in the early years before it became apparent that action heroes could increase sales. And Sullivan helped to put himself out of the art business, since he was the editor who bought the rights to Superman. Shortly thereafter, Sullivan suggested to a struggling artist named Bob Kane that a character along the lines of the Man of Steel might meet with similar success. Kane returned in a few days with Batman. Sullivan, who later went on to start his own publishing company, helped define the American comic book in his short reign at DC. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. We've been talking about comic books, and we're going to talk about comic books, you guessed it, every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here. We talk about comic books every day at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Tune in. I will guarantee you will eventually learn how to tell time by using my method. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. The show's on. Oh, wow. I can tell time. Well, thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck, and we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.